Prepare for docking!
Okay, guys, welcome back. It is the fourth night of the fight. You have unfortunately lost Jezebel the Toreador, whose presence was a little too much to overcome, mostly due to the fact that she had entranced several mortal soldiers who threw themselves between you and her and allowed her the time she needed to get away. So, we are going to pick up from there. You have, unfortunately, lost that Toreador. She's gone. Of course, you still have a chance to head into Sector 6 and do some fighting and looting there, or you can just kind of hang out and rest and recover. So, where we go from here is up to you.
Fight, 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 fight!
The Salubri who was guarding is like, oh man, I'm never going to hear the end of this. This is going to be awful. But he goes back to his post. So you guys are kind of left alone to figure out what you want to do.
I say we continue with our original plan of going to, was it Sector 6, I believe?
Yes.
That was where the additional temples were?
Sectors 5 and either 13 or 14 are the next Tophets.
Yeah, not the Tophets. It's the
14.
one that says has reached temples. No, there's nothing there. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think Sector 6 has too much in it.
It's mainly just...
No.
Can I ditch the crossbow and take a short bow instead?
Yeah, you got plenty of time.
In Sector 6 there was a Balai.
Correct. That
Yes.
is the
But
target.
but I don't feel too comfortable about even considering him. So the fronts are in the 6. Is anyone going for 13 and 14?
14 has the Cappadocian.
It
So
is.
there'll definitely be somewhere that Labiena will want to go at some point.
Unless it's being actively attacked, we don't want to go anywhere. Because either it'll already be looted clean, or it will kill us.
Right. So I think we wanted to go 6 to go along with the front, the movement of the front. So why not there? Although I don't really see much points of interest.
I mean, you guys can always camp, for the night. Just recover willpower and sit this one out. You don't have to go.
Oh, this sounds wise.
Does anyone need to recover anything?
I can heal.
It's more about mental stability, I think. I'm certain more than one of us has been taxed by the proceedings of the night.
Well, just tell me what you guys are going to decide here, and
Is it the same night as the one Jezebel, or
yes, if you decide to go hit the front, you'll have about 4 long turns.
I say we do that.
Yes.
Refrain from hitting any high profile issues and treat this night more like to get some scraps, maybe.
Blowing off steam, as it were.
Something along these lines.
I think we know what we're doing.
Yeah, my point is to conserve our best efforts for when it will really matter. So I'm assuming that eventually we want to go to the sites that have the trophies. So best to save our strength.
Indeed.
But anyway, let's go to 6 then.
Okay.
Yep.
You guys easily make it there. The city that you have to go through is largely pacified. Once you make it to the sector, you realize that you are fairly well behind the front wave. You are in the 4th wave right now. You can spend an action of a long turn moving up to the 3rd and so on and so forth. Or you can stick in the 4th.
How looted is already?
4th
Sixth
wave,
sector.
a lot of the most, pretty much the really good stuff is gone.
Yeah. And by now, would we have made the connection that being further back usually yields us less?
Oh yeah, that's definitely it's an obvious thing that the first guys in are in the most danger, and they usually get the first chance to grab what they see. So
I think we should move up.
Fortune favours the bold, as it were, quite literally in this case.
Mm.
We should move
Let's-
at least one wave forward, then see if we can maybe move to the 2nd wave.
I agree.
okay, so you move up. You spend a few minutes getting on top of buildings, scouting through the streets, figuring out where the battle lines are. You move forward. There's a few people who throw themselves at you, but they're fairly weak and easily disposed of in your heightened stats conditions. The fighting is starting to get a little heavier, You realize you are moving past the 4th wave into the 3rd wave of combat. And as you do, a small but organized group of citizens come rushing at you. They are going to do their level best to attack you, even though it's not going to be too much that they can do.
Question:
One, two.
Do you still have our stats buff from before, or have they been unbuffed? Or this be another thing?
I'm going to just go ahead and say that your stats are buffed.
Okay.
As we said, the blood pool here, there is literally blood in the street that you can just drink if you want it.
Are these attacks that we're supposed to?
Yes, so they come rushing out of the streets. They attack you. So I'm messing with the music here for a second. They attack you with that. This is spears, clubs, knives. Not anything unusual or terribly damaging. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have to soak 4 lethal. There's no automatic successes here. Agatha easily soaks it. Nicodemus soaks it. I need Hatshepsut, Labiena, and Albina. Now, Albina and Labiena, want you guys to add 4 dice to your attack and your soak dice pools to reflect Mercurio and Tyrannus.
Time bonus.
Yep.
Okay. So I might have to roll that separately.
Well, with between you have fortitude and they have enough, I think you're good to go. So, all right, I think you guys pretty much soaked it all. Go ahead and counterattack for me. Everybody make an attack roll.
Okay.
Yeah, these are weak mortals, and I'll
Trying
just
to do-
attack to get over quicker.
Yeah, you guys tear into him, knives flashing. Agatha climbs up on a pile of debris, get a little bit of high point, starts launching arrow after arrow. Albanus calling down shadows, Hatshepsut, that razor tongue flashing, Labiana with their sword. You guys easily just make mincemeat out of these attackers. Heads roll, chop arms off, you're cutting tendons and they go down. Easily take care of all of them. Cut through them, no sweat. Of course, the nice blood splatters getting on Albina are freezing instantly to blood crystals, which will chatter and tinkle to the ground in a pleasant music as she walks. Alright, that's 2 actions of your long turn.
How many remain?
You have 2 more actions in this long turn.
We keep pushing. Do we?
Yep, you can keep pushing up, you can loot.
Let's push up one more and loot. I think the
Yeah.
heat on second wave is still manageable.
If we are lucky.
Alright. Once again, you guys push up. Using the same tactics that have served you well. You begin to get a heavier fighting. The fighting's getting a little heavier, more and more pockets of it. You end up in a building. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, 6. They hit you, soak 9 damage.
Yikes.
This is lethal, yeah?
Yeah, this is all lethal. Alright. Labiana, you have fortitude, right?
Yeah.
How much fortitude do you have? Because fortitude is automatic successes, so you should be getting 5. So you have 5 total. Alright, looks like some of you guys got hurt pretty badly, but nothing that you can't manage. You feel the blades penetrate your armor, they jab into your stomach and your chest. These guys are hitting hard. Some of them are probably ghouls. There might be a vampire or 2 among them as the 6 participants in this combat smash into you. Bashing, clubbing, clawing, stabbing as hard as they can. And then you take the first wave. You get hit pretty bad. You take the first wave. You bounce back. Make your attack rolls.
Chris,
Yeah.
should I add my celerity or count it like potence?
We're going
Which
to
one do you...
count it like potence. It's automatic.
Okay. In that case...
Alright, I see 1, 2, 6,
Wow.
7, 8, 9, 12, 15. Sorry, 9, 10, 16, 21. 21? A lot. I see a lot of damage. Okay. That's enough. You only needed 18 total damage to put these guys down. And you did more than 18. The fighting much more serious, much more intense. Again, as you are literally battling room to room inside this building. Clearing it out one room at a time. You clear through it. You finally get through the first floor. You bust out the back door. You end up in an alleyway. And you realize that for this exact second, you are clear of danger.
I think this is a good moment to loot something, just to see.
Yep.
Because looting doesn't matter for me, I will prefer to do something else. I guess it doesn't matter, but I'm going to hunt because that's the only thing I can do. Is
Well,
there anything
you don't
else
have
I
to
can
hunt.
do?
You just feed. Just tell me you're feeding.
Okay.
You feed. Okay.
Okay.
If anybody else wants to loot, you can go ahead and make your D100 roll. Hatshepsut on a 32. You find objects worth 2 loot points.
Ooh. Better than I expected. I haven't exactly
Yes.
been doing well with these rolls.
With an 85. Nicodemus, you find objects worth 3 loot points. These are gold decorations, very large silver objects, some incredible artwork, religious figurines, some really nice stuff. You guys ended up in apparently a pretty rich household.
We are in which district are we
6.
in right now? 6. Is this place looks like richer than the other districts, like the buildings, stuff like that?
I mean, this particular house.
Okay.
La Viena, you find a stuff worth 2 loot points. Again, we're talking torn manuscripts, some silver objects, nice fine rugs, and Albina, unfortunately, as the last one in the house, the other guys have already grabbed most of the good stuff, and you only find some bronze serving plates and a couple of wood carvings, enough for 1 loot point. As you guys congratulate yourselves and are going over your loot, a number of attackers appear and rush down the alleyway, apparently running from somebody else, but they run into you.
Oh boy.
Do they look like Carthagians?
They look like a group of attackers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, you're gonna have to soak 8 more lethal.
Okay. 8 more lethal.
Unfortunately, the battle is getting chaotic. It's getting very tough to keep track of everybody. Looks like everyone pretty much got through it. They did a whole lot of damage, and they thought you were going to go down. Did not go down.
Yeah, we got lucky.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, you are up. Counterattack.
Yeah.
Here we go. Oh.
Wow. Oh my god, 13 successes. What a roll.
Yeah.
I'm glad one of us rolled well.
Hey, Het, you're with me. Hey, welcome to the club.
I see. 1, 2, plus 6 makes 7. Yeah, you guys. Again, another 15 minutes of frenzied fighting. You're backed into a corner. You're all kind of back to back, dipping and dodging around the spear thrusts, smashing people into walls, curb stomping them, doing whatever you can to win. You finally get done. And you look around, gather up your stuff, and you realize you have a few free moments to decide what you're going to do.
They seem to run away from something or someone.
Probably from our forces.
Probably. What are we going to do next?
Is there a way to actually contribute to the moving of the front? Like,
Get in the first wave.
probably. Yeah, and
They roll like 30 dice or something. Let's not get into that.
Well, we.
They roll 18 dice.
I think I trade in the first wave.
I
What
think
time of the night is it by now?
It is, if the sun rises at 7, it's about 4:30 in the morning. Actually, no, it's about 3:30 in the morning, sorry. You usually leave about an hour to get back to your camp.
yeah.
So it's still a bit of time.
You got 2.5 hours.
translates to like
2.5 long turns.
2.5 long turns. So we have essentially one long turn to do something, and then we need to go back.
Is this okay? Is one of the reasons we came to the Six to hunt the vampire here, or are we going to ignore it?
Well, just to put it out there, one of the Tophets is in the section right next door.
3, you mean?
Sector 5.
We shouldn't tend to do that.
I'm back.
We-
What have I missed anything?
No.
No.
I think the idea was to just unwind in the 6 and not take any high risks.
Okay.
That's
And we want to go 5 when it's under siege. Under attack.
Okay.
So for, I don't know, maybe we can have another swoop at the looting and then go back. I don't really feel about going after the ballet.
Yeah.
Pretty much same.
Especially since all of us, while obviously when you wouldn't know the exact mechanics, all of us are either failing on our roads or new to them, so...
I mean, there are other reasons too, like having already 2 aggravated damage and they can throw you fireball.
Well, yeah, but, honestly, it's the stuff that exploits that you really need to worry about, but anyway.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
loot and then go.
yeah, sounds good.
Okay, you spend a action moving to a fresh area that you haven't looted yet. Unfortunately, by the time you get there, there are, of course, many more defenders waiting on you.
A question, Chris. Considering I'm not looting anything, can I have some kind of turn that is about preparing for combat and I get some bonus or whatever? I don't know. For my role, I mean.
You are performing the tactics. Well, no, because the combat action is you're either fighting or you are helping other people. Or you can use a discipline like presence.
I don't have willpower. Well,
Speaking of which, I was gonna say, before everyone else starts rolling, I will use a tactics action, so...
Okay.
Which might affect the difficulty.
I'm going to attack them. I'm just going to attack.
Alright, so soak 8 lethal.
Okay.
It's good these 10s don't count for doubles with these guys. Now, for those of you who are wearing armor, by the time this night's done, you need to get new armor.
Gotcha.
Same for my armor too?
Yes, because it is just taking a beating with all this damage you guys are soaking. It's just taking a beating.
Is it like I assume it's not a big problem to get a set of heavy clothing or light armor.
Oh, I mean, you could literally
in the
loot it
camp.
off the dead.
Hmm.
There's plenty. You can, as long as you're okay with wearing a dead person stuff, you're good to go.
So it sounds like Labiana would
I
need a
mean,
new coat.
I mean, if you want to get philosophical about it, technically we're always wearing a dead person's stuff.
You say it soak 8 damage, right?
Yes.
Okay, I took 1 little damage. Can I heal it?
You don't need to tell me that. I assume you are healing it.
Okay.
Unless it's enough to put you down in one attack, I'm going to assume you guys heal it.
Okay.
And if
I
your
just-
follow-up actions isn't enough to knock everybody out, then we start to worry about it.
Okay.
All right, let's see. You wanted to use the special action tactics. Roll intelligence plus leadership. All you need to do to succeed with 1 success, difficulty 6, and everyone will get a -1 difficulty to their attack roll.
Well, you know, 1 success
Okay.
is what I needed. 1 success is what.
All right, so guys, so your attack roll is all going to be at difficulty 5 as Hatshepsut shouts out, "Hey, they're over here! Watch out around the corner! Look out at the window! They're throwing a rock at you! Look out!" So you guys are getting some help from her as she is providing backup support. And the potent celerity and blood-fueled rampage, because there's really no other word for it, as you guys simply, like action movie heroes, just stride through these waves of enemies and just effortlessly cleave your way through them. You have now found a fresh spot to loot.
I'm going to feed.
Okay. All right. 37, a 15, 41, and 14. Unfortunately, not nearly as good. I see Albina and Nicodemus found rewards worth 2 loot points, more silver, bags of coins, jewelry, a few fragments of, again, a few torn, tattered fragments of manuscripts. Labiana and Hatshepsut, unfortunately, are just a little bit too slow to get the best stuff, and you are left with the bags of bronze coins, a few rugs, a couple decent, hand portraits of art, and such items. Those are worth 1 loot point.
This one.
All right.
Uh,
You have 2 hours and 15 minutes. That's 5. Well, it says 9 total actions left before you are forced to seek shelter.
9 total actions. How much action is it to go back to the camp?
If you're doing nothing
1
but going
hour.
back to the camp, it's free.
4.
So we can get suspended by other stuff. I suggest we go back. I can't hear you, Labiana, if you are speaking.
Oh no, sorry, I was working out something in my head. No.
Yeah. I suggest we go back to the camp. We are going to get suspended by people trying to stop us, so count that in the time.
Yeah, it might be wise.
Yeah.
And
Prepare for.
that might be a good idea for us to camp inside the city. That
And
way we are,
outside the city.
yeah, that would be close to the fighting when we wake up.
But we
No.
we might not get updates, and well, I could.
Albina,
I mean-
you have common sense, right? I think you have that merit.
I don't really think this is a good idea.
Yeah.
We don't have anyone with us to protect
Yeah,
us during
yeah.
the day, and even if so, they're just going to get rampaged.
Yeah.
We have
this...
we have probably no idea how daily fighting looks like.
I would have some means to protect us, but I wouldn't necessarily, unless we're forced to. I wouldn't really rely on them.
Let's go to the camp. Let's go to the camp.
Second that we had our share for day, night.
Okay. You retreat back to the camp. Nice and safe, easy. Another hour or two until dawn. You have plenty of time to rest, wash up, find fresh armor amongst the literally hundreds of thousands of bodies.
Excuse me.
With this little bit of extra time, is it possible to actually go and get a glimpse more into the medical knowledge through observing how the carnage works and how various victims of the slaughter either preserve or perish? Is there
Yeah,
a little bit of time to do study like this?
You can absolutely go by that tent. Actually, it's a kind of more of a compound by this point. Sadly, the Salubri are so pressed for service with the healing of other Canaanites that they cannot help with the mortals. The mortals are pretty much left to their own medicus and what little knowledge that they might have to help themselves. Labiana and Nicodemus, both of you know that the wounds are too dirty. You've seen so many cuts and scrapes and stabs that are just... you know that there's going to be rot that sets in.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm pretty certain.
There's probably going to be more
that.
deaths from infection, even though we don't know that term, from the aftermath than there is from actual combat.
This is I'm assuming that there's little to be done about it, right?
Right. Gregorius and the other Medici are doing everything they possibly can. They're actually running out of supplies.
And it's not something that can be fetched from the city itself, right?
Correct.
Okay.
So they're at this point essentially reduced to using water and salt water and just bandages.
Well, that sucks. Nicodemus would help if he has spare time. Let's say after going back and like finding a piece of heavy clothing, he'd dedicate his time all the way to dawn to help out with the wounded, like help with the stitching, cleaning. It's his futile attempt to somehow make some amends for the carnage he has wrought himself.
Okay, understandable. Some of you
Labiana
guys,
was
yeah,
looking-
Labiana, you're probably out there and you're like, no, don't touch that one. I want to see what happens. Stop that. Get away.
Yeah, she's observing.
Nicodemus, knock that shit off. I want to see what happens. I can imagine the two of you getting a little slap fight. No, I want to save him. Like, no, I want him to die.
but let's try something. Look, I'll leave him alone if I fail at that one, okay?
Yeah, but
And of course, the poor person you're arguing over is like, I'm right here and I can hear every word you're saying.
You may want to decide soon, you two. Otherwise, fate may make the decision for you.
yeah, I will actually say at this point, you know, it takes situations like this for what's left of her humanity to just go tug tug, and eventually she'll just be like, okay, do what you can. I doubt he's going to survive anyway.
All right, you guys wake up on the fifth night. And as you've become accustomed to doing, you are able to feed. And a messenger is back with a list of the missing, the dead, and a report of activities. During the day, the mortals started the attack on sectors 5 and 13. Tonight, they plan on finishing to pacify those areas and move to sector 14. Now, sectors 5 and 14 both contain strong Tophits.
So, 5 is underway. I believe Agatha had something to do in 13.
Yeah, I need to hunt. I need to duel the Bruhada.
The brew. What's exactly the progress on? Do they expect to take Sector 5 this night?
Yes, they expect to finish sector 5.
And Sector 13 as well.
It's going to be impossible to hit both. You're going to have to pick one.
Yeah.
Or you can split up.
I was going to say,
Never
question is, do
split-
we want to
never
start
split
attacking
the group.
Tophits?
Yeah, never split the group.
So here's the problem, because one of our major stuff was hitting the Tophits. But I do actually wonder how much we can do with them
Ourselves?
ourselves. I expect to be pretty heavy fire in those Tophits themselves.
That reminds me. If you have Auspex, I would like you to roll your Perception plus Occult plus your Auspex rating. And Hatshepsut should roll her Oracular ability.
Perception plus alertness.
Occult.
Plus your Auspex rating.
Occult, right.
Yep.
So you said plus Dex rating?
Perception, Occult, and Auspex rating.
Or Specs rating.
Yes.
Yeah, check mine. Let me roll here. Now, what is this regarding?
A premonition, which you may or may not receive.
Hoping I'm spelling this correctly.
Yeah, that's close enough. Okay, Nicodemus and Labiena. As the messenger is talking to you, when he talks about Sector 13, and he says the word Tophet, you are both visited with a vision of golden sunlight washing over a Tophet and then being snuffed out in a tide of black. Hatshepsut, you are kind of semi-listening to what's going on, and you look up out at the sky, and you see the smoke resolves itself into a battle scene, visible only to you. and it is a flying bird of some kind alighting on a mountain. And there is some sort of earthquake or something reaches up and grabs the bird and drags it underneath this pyramidal shape. Sucks it out. You recognize this is a genuine premonition of something that's going to happen tonight. You are super quiet and I can't hear you.
And now you're completely unhearable.
Oh, I will. Bad.
And now completely
So I think your
understandable.
audio's messing up again.
So can you hear?
Now we can.
Okay. So yeah. So is that do you know anything about who in particular is anyone specific trying to attack that Tophet in out of character with Sector 5? Yeah.
Well, you get a vision of the Tophets, not so much understanding exactly which one. It can be assumed that a powerful Salubri is about to die. Maybe somebody you might want to try to save.
Nicodemus,
Oh,
do you plan on?
Go ahead.
How much danger are you willing to risk to save a powerful clanmate of your own?
Is that a trick question? I never know when talking to you.
Say no.
I suppose you know me well enough to know the answer to it. What do you hint at?
One of the Tophets might be about to see a rather dangerous sight for certainly someone.
How do you know it's about any from my clan?
Well, to be honest, I don't have a way to know for sure, but when it comes to these sort of things, I personally have learned to trust my intuition, even if it's reasonable for you not to.
And you think it's linked to the Tophets? Because I also had an impression that something is going to happen, but in no way I could be as specific as yourself.
Yes, the Tophets are one that unambiguously I know of.
Perhaps it is wise to consult with those possible in question. What are the how does it work? Is it like all the Salubri warriors went this way and all the Salubri healers went that way? Where are they presently? Would be good
They typically pair up a healer with a warrior. And they kind of go do their own thing.
Mhm.
Now, you happen to know where they're pretty much staying, as you've been here for a couple of weeks now, so if you hurry, you might catch them.
I suppose the obvious a way to try and contact is to either find Uziel or Abinadab.
Probably. They should be paired. Those two are actually paired up all the time. So,
Hatshepsut, would you be willing to come with me, perhaps exchange a word with them? They will probably regard you with suspicion. Nonetheless, I would at least feel better if I knew this realization would reach them.
Of course.
Well, let's go and try to find them.
you assume you hurry, and you're not just kind of strolling your way over there.
Yeah, they are probably bound to depart any moment.
So you run hard over to them. And as you reach them, they are gearing up. Samael himself is at the camp. Several of his direct children are there. Uziel is there. They are discussing how they're going to split up, who's taking what, and they are all geared for war and ready to go. So they're making their last-second preparations.
Is there Abinadab in sight?
He
Probably
is there. He's kind of hanging out on the outskirts, and he looks really sad.
Nicodemus would approach. He'd probably ask, Hatshepsut, probably best if you stay a little bit away. I'll try to. I'll start with some initial introduction before we get to the thick of things, because they might not want your presence.
Sorry, I cut out for a second. What was that?
Just stay put. I'll be right back. So Nicodemus rushes over to Abinadab.
Okay?
It saddens me to find you in such state, my mentor. These nights weren't easy for us, but I come with an urgent matter to yourself, perhaps to all of our clans, all of our clan.
I know. Something bad's going to happen tonight, isn't it?
Yes, Hatshepsut, with which you become acquainted, is a touch more sensitive to this kind of things than I am, and she declared that is likely going to one of our clansmen is going to meet their end, and it's going to be linked to the Tophets.
My son, I've feared this day for hundreds of years. None of them will be stopped. The best we can do is attempt to throw ourselves in the path of death. Would you join us and help me?
So is there no other way? I understand the Tophets are grave danger to all of us, all of our kind, all of our who knows who what.
He points at
what the extent can.
He points at Samael and he says, "You're welcome to ask him, but speak quickly, for he is prepared to die." And you can see that they are actually splitting up right now. You only have moments to speak your case.
Okay. Nicodemus musters up his courage and just approaches the the absolute legend among the Salubri. He regards the man with a bit of ambivalence in the way that there's obviously he's a bit distant from the warrior's cause, but he cannot disrespect the man for the sheer fact that he shares the blood of the clan and the sheer reputation of this man is just awing him already. So Nicodemus pushes his way to make his presence in front of him, and it's kind of frozen in the motion in the moment as he finally has a chance to be face to face with the powerful Salubri.
He looks at you and he says, "Speak quickly, boy. I have no time."
A grave night is about to happen. The stars speak that that our clan's blood will be tonight's prize for redemption of our kind. Is it the path you truly desire to take, sire?
Evil cannot be left to sit. Are you a healer?
He nods.
You know better than anyone, then, to allow an injury to sit is to let it get worse, to fester. It must be cut out. It must be stopped. Sometimes you must cut off the arm to stop the hand from turning against itself. This is painful, but it must be done. And if that means that we must sacrifice ourselves, that is what we shall do.
No other way? Will you seek another way when it presents itself, or are you set on the path right this instantly?
By the time it has reached this level, there is no other way. If there was any other way, I would not be here. Neither would my brothers. And now we must go. Join us or not.
I will. So Nicodemus withdraws. He knows he had no chance to persuade him, but was there anything to be persuaded out of? The Tophets are real. So Nicodemus returns to Abinadab and he just asks, where can I help?
Stay with me and my son. Gather your friends. We march to Sector 13. Perhaps
Sure,
all of you together can avert what is to happen.
Very well, I'll be swift. So Nicodemus runs toward Hatshepsut first. It seems all of the host is going to Sector 13. It's likely that Agatha will have her wish. Or do you plan to go to Sector 13, Hatshepsut? Sector 5.
I have no personal strong preferences.
Seems I have now. It's very real. But we're welcome to join my clansmates as with the rest of our coterie.
For everyone going to Sector 13, you begin the march. The power of these warrior Salubri is, in a word, awesome. you thought you had an easy time last night, just tearing through whatever resistance there was. These doesn't even look like these guys have pumped up their stats yet. It's just to watch them defies description. They haven't even activated their aura of faith yet. And they just smash through whatever's in their way. When they get there, several of the Salubri split off. Some of them did go to Sector 5 to tackle that Tophet. Some of them split off to hit other targets that have been given to them. Uziel and Abinadab find themselves at one Tophet with you guys. You see that this Tophet, this temple, is a pyramidal shape. There is a wall around it with 2 gates, and there is a small pile of dead soldiers at the gates. Both gates have been bashed down, and there are piles of rocks at each gate. And as you approach, these piles begin to move and shift, and they take shape. And they look like giant stone demon dogs.
Sorry, Chris. Can you please repeat that again?
There are piles of stone, and as you get close to the wall, the stone moves and comes together and stands up, and what you thought was just a pile of rocks is actually some sort of supernatural dog made of stone with huge claws, giant razor-sharp teeth, and when it moves, you can actually hear it grind as the stone grinds against stone.
Do you have any idea what this is?
You have never seen this before. La Vienna is the only one who's ever actually seen anything like this. And this was a long-ass time ago for her, so she may not even remember. Obviously, this is supernatural. This is not vampiric in any way. That much you can tell. This has to be some sort of demonic ball-eye magic of some kind.
Interesting. But unfortunately, in destruction.
As you approach the wall, you see these demonic dogs, and behind the gates, at the top of the pyramid, you can see a ball-eye clearly outlined in that negative shroud energy, screaming something, laughing, and there are 3 Canaanites in the clearing between the temple and the wall. So you stand outside the wall, there are 3 Canaanites inside the wall, and a ball-eye. And some demonic dogs.
Outside.
So, give me a moment.
And Salubri is with us?
Salubri is with you.
So how does it look? The Salubri have split themselves to go to Sector 5 and Sector 14, and we're currently at Sector 14 then? Or
You're
13?
in 13.
13. I thought the Tophet was in 14.
It's in 13.
Or are we... Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry, it is 14. You guys are in 14. I apologize. It's fine. You'll be able to hit 13 in a minute.
Okay, and Samael went to Sector 14 as well.
He is not with
That's
you, but
correct.
he is around somewhere.
Gotcha. There are 2 gates to enter this inner wall, and both of them are guarded by those dogs?
Correct. And it's basically just an opening in the wall right now. There's no gate, it's an opening in the wall. It's been bashed.
So does it look like something like this I draw? Like, I'm not sure, but I tried my best.
Yeah.
Decently close.
Okay.
So you guys are outside. And there are
Okay.
3. I will freehand a bit. Dog. You know, some demonic dogs here outside your opening in the wall. Piles of bodies. Canites. Vampires, vampires, vampires. And a ball eye.
Uh, did you say it? How big are the dogs?
Mastiff sized. Think Newfoundland dogs. Giant Mastiff.
Ah, okay, yeah, and yeah, not like werewolf big though.
No. Just a big freaking dog.
Okay, I hope arrows will work on them, but let's see.
Arrow on a stone.
As you
Bang,
approach,
random things.
Uziel shouts at you guys to handle the dogs.
Let's do so quickly.
And he literally leaps over top of the wall. And as he does, that red aura just leaps into life around him. His third eye opens, shines out red. He draws has a spear and a blade. And as he does, who here speaks Hebrew? Just Nicodemus, right?
So which language?
Hebrew. The Jewish language, Hebrew.
Yeah, I can't. I can't
Yeah,
speak that.
yeah, that's just Nicodemus, I think. Uziel is singing a death chant in Hebrew, and Abinadab literally grabs him and tries to intervene. He gets shaken off, and he says out to him in Hebrew, "Please, son, know the prophecy. I beg you to come back to me." And you've never heard anything so heartbreaking in your life. Uziel either ignores it or he doesn't hear it, as he erupts in that blazing red aura and begins to engage the Bruja.
Oh shit, they're Bruja there. Oh, cool, nice.
Yes, that's the 3 other Canaanites.
Okay, they are Bruja. Okay.
Yes.
What does it seem like
The hounds jump out to attack you guys, and you are pressed to defend yourselves as their claws are hurting badly.
Can I intervene for a moment and say that Agatha will stand behind everyone to use short at first? Is that possible?
To use what?
To use short bow, I would like to have
Yeah,
distance between myself and the dogs.
Sure.
Okay.
Give me a couple of attack rolls, guys. These guys are let's say 3 dogs. So we're going to take this times 3.
So,
I wanted to ask something. What does it seem that Abinadab is going to do when Uziel just pretty much leaves him behind?
He's frozen. Like, he can't process what's happening.
Nicodemus is going to try and also, does it seem that that other Salubri are going over the wall as well?
There are no other Salubri. They are off doing their own thing. It's Uziel and Abinadab and you guys.
For the okay, just on our side, right? So
Correct.
Not in the So before they engage the dogs, Nicodemus would try and shake Abinadab out of the frozen thing and just say, "Go and help him. Uh, uh, warrior should not be parted from his healer too long."
He just looks at you, and his third eye opens, and a white light comes out and forms a barrier keeping stuff out of the white light. You can freely exit. It doesn't stop you from leaving. It just stops other stuff from getting in. And he looks torn, hurt. Raw, naked emotion showing on his face. As you can tell he wants to go help. But there's something mentally that stops him from doing it. In the code of the healers, he cannot inflict damage. It's not in him to hurt stuff.
Don't need to.
Okay, so I assume that Nicodemus is able to understand this.
Yes,
right? All
you
you're
have
saying that-
spent literally 100 years with these guys. And you instantly pick up every emotion running across his face. And you process it, and you know that as much as he wants to go help his son, he physically cannot make his body move to go do it.
Need to hurt anyone. You just need to keep your son alive. You mustn't leave him alone. He seeks to carve his path. He seeks to bolt his pain down in this act of rebellion, and this has drove him away from you. But you can prevent that. Do not let him fade away like this.
As you're shaking him, come to your senses, man. One of those hounds hits the barrier, and you can feel it, like, psychically. Abinadab actually staggers backwards. It does not penetrate. However, the other ones spread out and begin attacking everybody else. I need you guys to soak 1, 2. Where's my hound's paper here?
Do you want me to roll for soak too?
In a moment.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Soak 7 lethal. This is not extended actions. This is not long actions. So roll your stamina plus your armor plus your fortitude if you're not spending blood.
Everyone's rolling?
Except for you, because it can't actually physically get to you.
Okay. Stamina armor plus fortitude. And we have to soak 7 damage?
Yes.
I'm going to roll fortitude.
So all this time, Nicodemus insists, "Go, don't leave him alone. We'll handle the dogs. You don't need to deal harm. Just let him deal harm. You make sure he lives.
And
This is where your parts end. This is going to be one ugly way to do so."
should this soak roll also include the Polish fall from Mercurio, or is
No.
this just my
No, just roll yours.
How much was the damage?
7.
Okay, is it aggravated?
It's lethal.
Okay. I'm healing that.
Is also the fortitude counting as also soak on the
No.
Unless you spend the blood.
to spend extra blood for this?
As you guys are busy, Nicodemus, you're trying your best to shake some sense into him. The hounds start slamming into your coterie and they're taking some pretty bad strikes. Everybody give me a attack roll, please.
I would actually like tactics roll first.
Uh,
A what roll?
Tactics.
Okay, then you do your tactics, and everybody wait for her to do that, and then everybody will see what she
So-
does.
because dogs are in melee with me, I'm not going to attack with short bow. I will attack with my weapon then. Because there's no meaning for that.
There we go.
So, are we in initiative? Should I spend celerity blood for
In a moment, please
multi-attacks?
just give me. That's not what I wanted, you stupid music player. All right, you guys are bashing into these things. They go down, and then they are reforming, and then they go down, and they are reforming. You cannot seem to keep them down.
Okay. Maybe we
This
should
is
try.
this is assuming they're using fire on their weapons, right?
As Hatshepsut backs away and attempts to inspire you guys with the use of tactics, one of the hounds hits her hard, bad. Abinadab sees this happen, is torn between Nicodemus and his son and Hatshepsut, and finally, realizing that he cannot help his son, decides to make an action, runs over to Hatshepsut, and extends that barrier over her and begins to heal her. As he's doing this, all of you guys see all three Bruach finally get hard strikes in on Uziel. He's been keeping up with them, but 3-on-1, he finally cannot do it anymore. They get hard strikes in, and he falls to one knee, and then he yells out in Hebrew, "Now, Uziel in heaven, righteous in wrath among the host, lend me your grace." Only Nicodemus understood that. But everybody sees this. His red aura becomes gold. He stands up, his armor becomes whole. His third eye becomes golden. It illuminates the entire front of the Tophet. Up top, you even see the ball eye cower down, like he actually crouches down in fear of the glow. The three Bruja frenzy, and they leap onto him, just trying to bite him. Nicodemus and Labiena, the two of you are overcome with the feeling that you know exactly what's about to happen. And you know you have one chance to stop him from dying. You can either throw yourself in and take his place, or you can save yourselves.
Into okay. Nicodemus is going to take the heat.
Nicodemus, you say screw this. Throw yourself over the wall. Leap into the fray. struggle to peel off one of the frenzying Bruja, and when you get into that golden glow, you feel your skin begin to peel off as the power of sunlight coming from his golden eye begins to inflict aggravated damage on you. I'll give you one second. I'm going to type this out to you. Okay, willpower roll difficulty 8. Stand up to the pain. Permanent willpower.
Oh, okay. Let me find this.
It's not a botch. You don't frenzy. You do everything within your power, everything, to drag one of these frenzied Bruja off of him. It's up to and including leaving your arms in that glow as you try to drag this creature off. You feel it crisp. You feel your skin on your arms crisp up and begin to flake off. It begins to sear it, and you can actually, if you could actually see through him, you'd even be able to see the white of your bone in your arms until your body just gives out. And your beast wins and says, "You cannot do this. You must live." And you stagger backwards out of range and collapse. Sobbing at you couldn't do more. Arms just turned into useless lumps crossed across your chest. You have a front row seat as you see Uziel, even in his enhanced last gasp form, falls to his knees, and he looks at his father, and he smiles, and his form crumples into turns to ash, and then he collapses into a pile. Rather than attacking you, the three Bruja stand up and start dancing and writhing, screaming in agony. Their skin begins to glow red. Their eyes smoke and begin to boil in their sockets. They're yelling and stomping, and you can actually feel the heat coming from within them as the last power of the Salubri warrior, killing his foes even as he's fallen in death. Benadab appears to be struck mute. Hatshepsut, you can see in his face as he's stopped healing you, and he's just staring at what happened. And he just gets up and walks over to the pile of ash. Just strides over the demon hounds, not even caring that his aura is pushing them aside. Falls to his knees in the pile and scoops it up. His tears rain down his cheeks, streak his face and his beard, all three eyes expelling the liquid. He begins to pray for his son in Hebrew and rubs the ashes on his face, and then he gets up and he walks away. At this moment, you guys realize that the demon dogs are no longer bothering you. They have crumpled into their base stone and are not getting back up.
So where's Nicodemus at? I assume
You're kind of
he's
crumpled
on
against
his
the
way back.
wall in like a corner. I imagine you're on your knees, your hands with your ruins of your arms across your chest.
Nicodemus is frozen as well, be it because of the pain or the sheer travesty of the sheer horror that he just saw. When he leapt in, he wasn't thinking straight. What he thought was to try and bring his family, his brother away from this, because he knew that the warriors' goal would driven to self-sacrifice in the face of overwhelming odds, but he's now frozen at the realization that he's another of his family that he has lost. First it was Zoticos, now it is Uziel, and he cannot feel that the fear that at some point he's going to be forced to watch Abinadab die in some tragic consequence. Despite his actions, the two Salubri remained at odds, even at the point of trial, and he was powerless to stop them. He finally gets some semblance to move and tries to crawl his way back to where he would find some measure of support. But it's slow and blurry as he is weighted by realization that in this moment he couldn't fight the beast off to help him finish the task.
After a while, Hat will walk over and give him, a little help to stable himself. Not too much, but just a little bit.
Nicodemus nods. He's unable to speak, be it the aggravated wounds or the giant lump in his throat. There's no sign of any accusation that his allies didn't come to help. This would be a suicide otherwise. Come to help at the previous stuff. Mold. Right, so Abinadab left, just like that.
Just like that. He just got up and left.
Do you wish to take the rest of the night off to process the pain?
I'm not sure what I wish to know now. What can we do here?
Just realised I was muted. Oof.
Nicodemus looks towards the grand orchestrator of this, well, semi-grand orchestrator, the Bala at the top. Or is he still there?
He is there, and he appears to be gravely injured. Extremely weak.
A question.
I was going to say, Labiana kind of looks over at the Bali, notices this, looks back and says, I understand what's just happened. I know, you in particular, kind of aren't in the best sort of mental state right now, but now would probably be the best time to strike.
If you wish to stay behind, we can take care of this ourselves.
Of what, sorry?
If you wish to stay behind, we can take care of this ourselves. You have no need to put yourself in further strain after what.
I will not be a cumbersome for you. Please do. I'll do my best to stay alive.
Then stay behind us. Your death would be far more of a burden to us than you staying behind.
Yes, I understand. That's. Yes, that's my intention. I'll stay behind.
We understand.
As you guys are mounting the Tophet to finish this asshole off, Agatha draws her bow, pulls it back, releases an arrow. Hits, appears to hurt the ball eye, is not enough to finish it.
Then I will point a finger at the Bala if possible.
And I tried thrusting a stick at him. Or is she too far away for that?
You climb the steps. You climb to the top of the temple. 15, 20 meters in the air. You reach the top, and he appears to be badly burnt. He has an arrow in him. It would be an act of minimal effort for you to finish him off. Summon your dark blade and cut his head off.
Labiana is tempted just to race up there with her gladius and wow, woof. Give it her best shot.
He doesn't bother trying to plead for help or for mercy. He just gazes up at you with hatred. He knows he cannot stop you if you were going to kill him.
You try to have him stake.
When you jam the stake into him, that appears to be the last bit that was needed to ash his form. You pull the stake out, just jam it, bam! You feel it scrape against the stone, and he turns to ash around the stake.
Labiana kind of looks down at the pile of ash with a bit of, I don't know what the word would be, malice, contempt.
You now have an unlooted Tophet at your fingers.
Let's loot it.
Kind of
Might
focus
as
on
well.
destroying it.
Torch
Loot
it,
it first.
torch it.
We'll,
Loot.
we'll,
Torch.
we'll torch it once we've searched for anything that might be safe.
Yeah.
Okay. D100 again?
Obviously, if there's a big artifact that, is glowing red and just has spelled out on it, I summon demons, we aren't going to take.
How long do you guys spend searching it?
Sure.
As usual, maybe. What was it? Long turn? A long turn?
A full long turn, or one action in a long turn?
Oh, okay.
You tell
we
me.
are going to destroy. We are going to destroy it too. So
I'd just
I
say a
mean-
long term.
A
I think we
full.
should spend the rest of the night on this. After this is the last thing we're going to be doing for this night, right? We plan to go back to camp. Or do you guys?
I mean, some dramatic things happened, but I also had a plan to, hunt the Bruja. But also some dramatic stuff happened, so I understand if people don't want to do that.
How many
Well,
long
it's-
turns do we have?
It's pretty much only Nicodemus that's wounded, so the rest of the party can deal with other stuff. No problem.
You have 5 long turns. If you spend a full long turn, you'll have 4. And you've already said you're going to do that anyways. So I might as well tell you what you found.
Okay. So we don't need to roll?
No.
Okay.
I was waiting on you to tell me because it was going to take you a full hour to find this. As you essentially tear this place apart, you find a series of, you find 4 or 5 rolled up canisters that appear to be carved limestone or something like that. And they have brass caps on them. And you pull the caps off. Inside is rolled up scroll paper, papyrus of some kind. Does anybody here read Byzantium, or not Byzantium, Babylonian? Babylonian or Sumerian?
No.
That's me, Sumerian.
It's not Sumerian, but it is very, very similar to it. You can read enough of it to know that what you have found is a series of letters between 2 balli that talk about the first 3 levels of Daemonian.
Ooh.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Is that like enough to unlock this discipline?
No, but it is enough to have said if you read what's in the book, you understand what's in the core rulebook.
Oh, okay. So it's like in character knowledge about what they can do.
Yes.
Okay, is it something that Nicodemus is able to study on himself, or
You're not going to
require
get
learning of
the
language?
full impact until you can read Babylonian. But just gazing through it enough with your Sumerian, you can say, guys, this is super valuable. This is a series of letters about the Balai clan discipline. They're discussing the uses and the theory behind it and what exactly it does. This is an amazing find.
Nicodemus is not going to hide it from the rest. He's going to share everything he learned. Read from this first glance. With the purpose that perhaps there might be some ideas to try and fight off the corruption using this knowledge. But this is likely when things get a little more quiet down.
Should keep this closely guarded. If secret test to get out that we have this, the kindred of front might not look kindly upon us.
Oh yes, most definitely. The majority would advise to destroy it completely. Would be
Does it
best.
include in the one long turn that we burn the Tophet after we?
Oh, that's no big deal. You grab a few torches, throw it on there, and eventually all the tapestries and stuff catch fire. All right. I understand you guys want to make your way back to Sector 13.
I would like to duel the Bruja. I would like to say before we started, if I gotta get speed up, feel free to intervene.
Oh, what?
Will we
If you
get a
get what?
chance later
If
to
if Agatha
come?
fails to beat the Bruja herself alone, then feel free to intervene and break the rules of the duel, essentially. I want the Bruja as a gift, not to get reputation for myself. A gift to the prince.
Yeah. Will we get a chance to come back to Sector 14?
Yes. Tonight, if you want to, yes.
What do you need from it?
The Cappadocia.
The Cappadocia.
Oh, right.
Let's go for the Bruja first, and we'll see if we have time.
Yeah, I think that's wise.
Okay.
Okay.
You guys know approximately where to find the Bruja. Takes you. So you have 4.5 long turns remaining. All right. You get to the sector. It has been largely pacified. There's a few pockets of resistance here and there. It's in one of these pockets that you remember your vague directions tell you to look.
Nicholas is going to keep. I mean, he wants to be around, but he knows he's vulnerable, so he's going to stay further away. And like, if he gets attacked, he's just going to keep dodging.
There's you get to one of these pockets of resistance, and you hear guys yelling, screaming. You kind of make your way. You can look over from one rooftop at the fighting, and there's a guy with a large shield. He's a big dude. It's a guy with a large shield, and he is just smashing the soldiers aside, rallying the remaining fighters at his on his side. And he's not being nice about it. He's screaming, hurling insults. He's not doing this because he's doing. Let me put it this way: he is doing this because for the thrill of the fight, and it comes across in his actions and his speech. He's doing this because he likes it.
It's the.
I can't hear your head.
He's singing a popular '80s song.
Okay.
Yeah, they're gonna.
It would be very easy for you to just march down there and give him a one-on-one challenge.
Yeah, Agatha will go and scream, Ak, I challenge you on a duel. Fight me with your honor. If you have one, or something like that.
One-on-one, you dumb bitch. When I'm done with you, I'll spread your legs and show you how a real man makes a woman out of you.
Are we doing punches or are we doing weapons?
He points. Everyone clears away. They clear the square out. So here's the deal. I'm gonna offer you the choice. You can do this in 3 rolls, or you can do a regular combat.
Let's do it in 3 rolls. I don't want to bother anyone.
The first
with
roll
this.
is going to be charisma plus melee. This is trying to psych your opponent out.
Okay. Charisma plus melee. I'm going to do this manually because faster. Oh man.
Oh, so close. You tied, so there is no dice. What it was going to be was whoever won, however many they won by, subtracts from their opponent's dice pool. You tied.
Your voice is cutting, Chris.
Breaking.
Yeah, it's breaking up.
Let me switch servers then. How's this, guys? Better?
Much more terrible.
Sounds muffled.
Yeah. You might want to.
Constraint.
No?
Oh,
Yes?
it's
Oh,
it's better now. It's
Okay.
better now.
I just moved my microphone a little bit.
mm,
All right.
Okay.
cool.
So you are tied for that. The next is
Okay.
going to be intelligence plus melee. As
Okay.
you take a stance and you're looking at his form, you're plotting in your mind. How is he going to attack me? What's he going to do? Is he going to shield bash me? Is he going to come in low? Is he going to come in high? What's he going to do?
Yeah. Doing tactical thing. Luckily, I am a little bit smart.
And he is not.
Stand up.
All right. So what now? Now you're going to roll dexterity
Okay.
plus celerity
Okay.
plus melee
Okay.
plus 3.
Okay. Oof.
Plus
Okay.
willpower.
So, will what? Do I roll willpower too?
No, just roll those.
Okay. 10. Okay, melee edit, dexterity edit, celerity, and then plus 3. Okay. Oops. Sorry. Ah, you rolled so good. You rolled so good.
Apparently, it's still waiting on you to roll 16d10.
Yeah, it
There it
is
goes.
lagging.
Oh, it is. Yeah. It is a bit laggy tonight.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. He won. He has a. It is a brief but intense clash. As Agatha attacks with her axe, it comes down. He catches it with the lip of his shield. I forgot to tell you, yours is a diff 7 because of his shield, but it doesn't really matter. He catches it with the lip of his shield, twists the shield, and twists the axe and makes her like whole body tilt. Smashes it across the back of her legs. Shield bash. Between the two of them using celerity, it just goes. You see them getting faster and faster and faster. And he finally jams his short sword up under her ribs, comes out her shoulder, puts her into crippled with lethal damage. And he kicks her off the blade, shakes the blood off, does a little shoulder roll, little bounce on his feet. He says, "Who's next? Come down here and fight me."
I'm just gonna look to help now.
Albina is going to step forward.
Okay?
Out of character, I meant just like use tentacles to immobilize them from where you were, but that works too, okay.
Would you want to do the 3 rolls, or are you going to try to do normal combat?
I code the
Okay. Charisma plus melee. As you, again, begin to psych each other out. Or you can roll in charisma plus intimidation at difficulty 4.
Did you see?
Because of her super special, of that merit of her eyes. He looks
I'm
into
going
her
to
eyes
spend
and he
a-
is, okay.
I'm going to spend a willpower on
Alright, sounds good.
Two.
Alright. He's going to be down 3 dice on this next roll. 5 successes versus 2. He's going to be down 3 dice. Making an intelligence plus melee. That doesn't leave him very many dice to roll.
I'm going to use another willpower on this melee.
Okay. All right. So your next roll is going to be dexterity. What's your potence rating?
3.
3? Okay, so he's got more potence and he's got celerity. But you have more fortitude than he does, so that's going to balance out. All right. So you're going to roll dexterity plus melee plus 4 extra dice.
And I'm going to use a willpower.
Okay, and he is rolling dexterity plus celerity plus melee plus 1 extra dice. Ooh, I think he won this one. 1, 2,
Does
3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
It is tied.
Ooh.
They reach up. I'm not counting his 10s as extra.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 6 successes. 6 successes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Minus 2, 6. All right. And again, I'm not counting his shield bonus as making it diff 7, so which actually would be the tipping point here, but that's okay. The two of you clash. And Albina, expectedly or unexpectedly, holds her own. He cannot seem to get past the shadow armor. And her shadow blade just cannot find its way around his shield. They slam into each other several times. And even though he's significantly faster than her, the shadows themselves defend her, spring to her aid, take the blows. He steps back and he's getting pissed. I'm going to roll his self-control. Because he's a Bruja, and this is diff 7.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
I understand.
Good old clan weakness.
Oh, yeah, he botched that.
Oof.
All right.
Well, ditch the premises, grab our guys, and ditch the premise as he slaughters his own men.
I guess instinctively Labienna's getting her bow and arrow at the ready. In case she has to try and...
All right, he's got a base initiative of 14. Can anybody beat that without rolling a d10? I don't think
Base
anybody can.
Oh shit, so without rolling defense?
Correct.
10, no. Nope.
Yeah, no fucking way.
I have 13. I just missed by 1.
Okay, well,
I
you're
have
still
13
healing,
initiative.
and so you're going to be a
Yeah.
little bit lower. All right.
Yeah.
He is... I'm going to roll... If his initiative is less... This roll is less than 5, I'll let... you guys can try. 1. No, okay. He's got a 15. You might be able to beat that.
Alright.
Do you want me to roll? Initiative?
Not you. Labienna and Hatshepsut and Albina. Especially Albina.
Nice. Nice.
Nice.
Even better.
All right, Albina and Labienna, you guys. Hey, the dice are liking you tonight. That's all I got to say. Albina, Labienna, Hatshepsut, yeah, and even Nicodemus. You guys see. He just the light of sentience, as if such a easily provoked and crude and uncouth man could be called sentient. It leaves his eyes, teeth extend, and he just utters an inarticulate scream of rage. Throws himself at Albina, but she sees it coming, and she gets to act first.
Toss take and run away.
Sure, you can attempt to stake him as he rushes at you, or you can throw a stake at him. So melee or athletics.
Yeah, going to try to stake him on the heart.
Okay. So are you splitting an action here to stake and dodge, or just stake?
Stake and dodge.
Okay. So you're at -1 dice, and it's +1 difficulty, so difficulty 10. Dexterity
Yeah.
plus melee.
Oof. This is gonna tough. This is gonna be tough.
It is tough.
Yeah.
Failed.
Yep. And so close too. If you weren't splitting an action, you would have had that. Oh well.
Yeah.
You go to step aside, take the stake, and you just. However, I see a 9, 8, 7, 6, 6, 5. You are going to hit him. You just don't hit him in the heart. Roll damage. I'm just going to limit this, so we're going to say it as if you did 1 success. Because you weren't trying for this. Strength plus 2 plus potence.
I'm going to use blood clot to make 3 auto successes on the pot.
Okay? Alright. 8 lethal.
Oh shit! I also forgot the
Plus armor.
shield, right? That decreases the damage, right?
He's
The
going to
shield.
drop that. Yeah, he's going to drop that. It's he throws it. He's still got his blade in his hand. He's not going to give that up. 1, 2, 3, plus 3 armor, plus fortitude, so 5d10. 4. All right, you slam him hard. He takes 4. Labiana, you're up.
Alright, well, so the bow and arrow are coming out, and she's going to try and, the very best, to shoot him in the heart from where she is.
Okay. Dexterity plus archery, difficulty 9.
Also, just to clarify, these are normal arrows. I just realised, yeah, the flaming arrows might do a little more damage than intended. What's that?
Not a botch.
Not a botch.
That's just
You
a
simply
fail.
miss. It just goes, and it goes over everybody's head and bounces off a wall. Hatchet, what are you going to do?
Fuck it. Let's not dance around. Just gonna rush in, try and stake.
Okay, dex melee, please. Wow. Well, let's see.
Oh wait, I rolled in wrong difficulty, but
I see. Well,
actually it would
9.
succeed anyway.
1, 2, 3. I see 4 successes at diff 9. So
Yeah,
strength.
it would still work.
Yep. Strength plus 3, 6. Strength plus 8 extra dice.
All right.
Would have been actually useful if the box said which difficulty it was wrong with.
Yeah. That's a lot of successes.
See how much you can soak.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's more than what's needed to stake him. He goes leaping through the air. Albana jams the stake in one side and pirouettes aside as the arrow flies between them. And Hatshepsut appears from the other angle and just jams that other stake in from the other angle. So There's 2 stakes in his chest, but a hatchet hits the heart, and he hits the ground. Kathud. And that's when the Roman soldiers come in and begin clearing out all the other remaining Carthaginian fighters, leaving you guys to pick up your prize. And on that
Agatha
note,
is just...
I think it's time for a 10-minute break.
Oh, okay.
Sounds good to me.
All right, guys, and we're back. You have successfully taken out Ak, the Bruja, or the Child of Troy, whatever you want to call him. Good job.
Push it.
Yep.
Okay. Well, Agatha will be like, thank you, friends. It showed up that I wasn't strong enough to beat him, but you were. Which is good to know, because it means I can rely myself on you people. And that also means I am already depted into all of you once more.
Well, you're very welcome, Agatha. We do everything we can to protect our own. And we may not have known you for very long, but you are one of our own.
That fight was not easy. Are you alright?
I to be honest, he beat me quite good, but luckily it wasn't as hard as the Esamite's weapon. You see, like, while Agatha saying that, you know, his twisted arm or whatever ribs, they are just connecting, like his arm just changing, twisting, becoming normal once more. Half of his face is like flesh coming back, stuff like that.
Well, I believe it would be appropriate for, unless we have any other important business, I believe it would be appropriate for us to call it for tonight.
I do know that Labiana voiced that she has a Cappadocian to handle, deal with. I am, as I say, I am healing right now, so I can still keep on and help with that if we want. If you think, Labiana, that she would be safe tonight, she wouldn't be hunted down by other vampires or the Romans.
I mean, it is possible, however, if by and large we do need to spend the rest of the night resting and recouping, there's always tomorrow night.
Well then, I can definitely rest a little bit.
I'm back. I didn't miss anything, I hope.
Nope.
Not really. We decided to chase the Cappadocian or go back to the camp. I think we chose the latter.
To the camp, then. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
We're-
yeah, you guys can retreat
right.
easily if you're going to retreat.
Yeah.
Do we have some little time after we arrive to the camp?
Yeah, you guys have plenty of time, like 4 hours at least.
I will tell the group when we are together in the camp. If it is okay for you all, I would like to take the Bruja and give him to the prince as a gift, so that he welcomes me to the city for, hopefully, as long as possible.
By all means.
Of course.
Also,
It's your initiative, your stuff. Do as you please.
Also, this is something that just occurred to me as, like, not something that's going to be immediately relevant, but might as well ask now while I remember. What was it? What you know how Ihamus got like travel rights for all the Setites in like domain under Rome?
Yeah.
What was the precise wording of that?
Right of safe passage.
Oh no, I meant in terms of Setites. Was it specifically children? Was it specifically
It was the
vampires
followers of
descended
Set.
from Set? That could be interesting to use one day.
Okay. So Agatha will pick up the Bruja then and go to the prince's camp.
Okay, you go to where you know that the pavilion was and everything, and you are stopped by some mortal guards. They challenge you what you're doing. What are you doing here? Stop.
I am here to speak with Prince Camillus. I have a present to him that I will like to give with my own hands.
The first citizen is quite busy. We shall. He has left instructions for us that if it is incredibly urgent, to summon his Wigil Ainana. Otherwise, you are to come back at some other time.
Okay. Would you know if I can come back at morning? At as early as possible the next night. Will that be possible? Do you know that information?
No, we do not know. Only that he has instructed us to turn everyone away until he says otherwise.
Okay. Okay. Then I will go back. Agatha doesn't believe that this is that urgent, so he will go back.
Okay.
She will go back. She will go back to the camp.
Anybody else like to do?
Nicodemus plans on addressing the approaching grief with something to occupy himself. With the 4 nights to spare, he's going to spend with assisting the wounded mortals, as this is where he can hopefully make some difference. Also hoping into get
one thing there.
healing from the poor.
As you approach, they recoil in horror. Oh my God! Get that away from us! What in Jupiter's name is that? Look at his arms! Oh my God!
Right, forgot about that. Oops.
Oh yeah. Whoops.
Aw. So, my apologies, I did not notice it. He stumbles away, kinda like absent-minded. Right, I guess that would be a time where he figures out that perhaps seeking healing would be to his best interest.
Just before Nicodemus heads off, Pat will glance towards him with a degree of genuine sympathy in her expression, and all she'll say is, "Do what you must to process, but do not cast the feeling aside. There is a lesson in all pains, and to squander it would be, well, I would say that would be a waste."
The philosopher in me cannot disagree with this, because there is more than one lesson to be drawn from not just the sheer act and happening itself, but also from the background surrounding it. But someone who loved the fallen would only scream in rejection and despair. So I'll depart your company, even though I appreciate the words, to somehow try and find the middle ground in more peaceful setting. They won't even let me practice my craft, you see. Those
Of course.
annoying appendages.
As I
seem to
said,
be making.
doing what you must to deal with it, that's fine, that's healthy. Just do not ignore and squander it.
All creativity.
Regardless. Be well tonight, Nicodemus.
Thank you. Yourself. I understand the Salubri here is very much occupied all the time. Would he find some time to assist with Nicodemus's injuries?
Yeah, you find your way to where the Canaanites are being healed a little at a time. And when you stagger in, Nahum and a female Salubri whom you've never seen before look up. And their eyes together. In the name of the light, what happened to your arms? And they grab you and force you to one of the Greek couches. And each of them grab an arm, and their eyes open up, and you begin to heal.
Nicodemus speaks in very quiet and solemn tone, kind of feeling the sadness sinking in. He just said, "My apologies on coming up on you as another patient of this terrible war. I hope it won't much take from your reserves. I will try to make some means to cope with your needs." Kind of blubbers off, and kind of well, yeah. They must look like burns, I think. I suppose the closest description is that have been burned by sunlight, but obviously this couldn't happen.
They both sit down and they focus all their attention on you. They're kind of crouched over you, squatting. Nicodemus, what happened?
Do you really wish to hear? I suppose it would only torment you even further. You must not cope well during all this. Perhaps it's not wise to add into your burdens.
We would never force you if you're not comfortable. It's not our way. When you're ready to speak of it, we'll be here.
My friends, I have no problem with telling this. Perhaps there's a lesson to be drawn from this for us all. But one of our one of our brothers has fallen in the most excruciating thing to watch. He was beloved to me, and it was quite devastating to see him become ended. It's likely that our clan suffers the most because we are dedicated to the cause, and the numbers of our brothers and sisters will be shrinking in the nights to come. It's important at this time that we realize, that we remember the bonds between our two castes, between the warriors and the healers, and that even though we do not see eye to eye, we must never abandon our comrades, despite where they might be headed to. Sometimes it's perhaps to bend and transgress on your own rules to save the ones you love.
The lady sits on the couch with you and hugs you to her chest. And she begins to sing a soft, soothing song. And as she does, you feel yourself growing calm, collected. You're able to process the grief just a little bit better, to gather your thoughts, untinged by sadness or anger. And as she sings this soothing melody to you, everyone in the entire tent actually comes to a sort of standstill, and they begin to fall under her spell, basically. Everyone gets calm. The screaming, the pain, it gets quiet. And she finishes, and she says, she kind of picks you up, and she says, "Please tell us exactly what happened. Who fell, that we may prepare the memorial for them, at least in our hearts."
It was Uziel of the warriors. I believe Abinadab is in possession of his ashes, and I'm not sure what kind of memorial he intends for, but I doubt he would let his son's soul remain in turmoil.
She kisses the top of your head, where your hair is at. And tells you to go back to your coterie and mourn your friends and family. You should be with be with them.
Thank you. I hope this night won't take too much from you. You take care of yourselves as well. And perhaps a bit rudely, and he mumbles something about farewells, but his mind already travels someplace else. So, how much time is left?
An hour and a half.
An hour and a half. Okay, I probably once asked about this, but is there any way to try and assist with the salubri healer problems and trying to...
Not really.
Trying to... Yeah, that's what I thought. If there's possibility and there means of approach, and assuming the hands are looking quite better at this time, Nicodemus would spend the rest of the
Now, she wanted you to be with your friends.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's sync with that. Nicodemus spends probably 15 minutes unsure where to go exactly, pacing between one place and another, and ultimately decides to go to find how the rest of the coterie is doing.
all right. As you guys are processing everything that happened tonight, Nicodemus finally comes back in, sits down, and the rest of the night passes in relative silence and companionship. The next evening, the sixth night, the messenger that finds you is a little bit later than normal. But he tells you that during the day, the military has completed the subjugation of the outer city. All sectors of the outer city are under control. All targets have been disposed of or escaped. And the first citizen commands attendance at the gate to Sector 2.
Sector 2. Inner fortified city in Palace. Okay.
When the messenger comes, I would like to ask if Prince accepts any visitors to his camp at the moment.
The first citizen commands your attendance at the gate to Sector 2.
Yeah, he literally summoned us.
Okay, so he isn't in the camp. Okay.
So does it mean all targets? This includes the
Cappadocia?
the Cappadocian as well.
Yes.
Probably.
Oh,
That's it.
That's unfortunate. Would you know who to ask about the man's fate?
I have been commanded to tell you that all targets have been either taken or escaped.
Oh, right. So, very well. When is it? Isn't there's a specific hour of the approach to Sector 2, or is it happening this instant?
Immediately.
Very well. That's all we need to know.
With the city surrounded, there is no resistance as you make your way to the gate of Sector 2. Takes you a little bit of time to get there, and it's a big crowd, of course. Approximately 2 hours after sunset, the moon rises, it's bloated and full. Orange, ominous in the ash and the light of the burning city. There's a brisk breeze off Mare Nostrum, carrying off the worst of the ash. Camillus is sitting on top of on a chair that's actually carried on a litter. You see at least 200 Cainites in attendance. Many of them are battle-worn and weary, but you see them, they look fired up with passion at the progress. Camillus is radiating with majesty, heightened by both his physical stature and his place on the battlefield. He sits within arrow range, yet not a single missile leaves the walls aimed for him. Next to Camillus, there is a pole and some sort of giant crossbow mounted to it. Up on the walls, there's another figure pacing back and forth, shouting, raging at Camillus. And then he turns to give speech to remaining people of Carthage, and then turns back and yells at Camillus some more. And in the distance, you swear that's Himmelcar the Pale, the monarch of all Cainites of Carthage. You see Camillus, he says something to Inanna, who shouts it at Himmelcar the Pale. Himmelcar is whipping himself into a frothing rage. Camillus is bartering for their surrender. He wants Himmelcar to come down, kneel at his feet, accept being executed, and to send Troil and Moloch out to meet the same fate, and he will spare the rest of the city. What Camillus says in return is he gestures up at the walls where you see captured Roman soldiers are strapped into various torture devices. Poles, hot iron spikes driven into various joints. They are, as you watch, they are pulled apart by rack torture devices. So terrible, horrible death. They're screaming in pain. And after this display, he turns to his own crowd and he yells out so loud that all of you guys can hear him yelling. This is Himmelcar. The hordes of the so-called kings and the lunatics, they batter at our gates. They cannot hope to break in. The city is ours. If they breach the gates, we will crush them in the streets and the alleyways. We will bring the city down about their ears and drive them out. They will have to slaughter every last one of us and salt the earth to purge us from it. And even then we will return! We will return! Carthage will last when Rome returns to nothing but a pile of river mud. And we will shake these would-be conquerors off like a dog shakes fleas. And he's whipping his hands up. Just getting louder and louder. And as he stands there with his back to you guys and he's yelling at the crowd, you see Inanna light up a big wad of cotton on this giant crossbow. And she fires it off. And it hits Himmelcar square in the back. Penetrates all the way through. Drives him off the wall. It hits so hard. And you can see him ash in midair as it drives him off the wall. The Roman troops around you scream in victory and they rush the walls. Siege ladders go up and the fighting begins. How quick do you guys want to run to the front?
Slow enough to not die by the first wave.
Yeah, perhaps second wave as usual.
Yeah,
like the
how
first
would we how would we gauge danger here as compared to the waves in the city?
I think that is a really good question.
It is a good question, actually.
First off, you guys can tell this is the last gasp of desperation. They've realized that they have lost. All they have left is to murder you.
Okay, so cornered animals scenario.
Yes, cornered animals. They are extraordinarily dangerous. They're likely to fight with every single thing they have. They expect to die.
Third wave then.
I think we should be behind. I think we should be coming from the behind and helping like the first two layer of our side. So we should be like in the third layer.
That might actually be a smart move this time around.
Yeah.
Back
Let's
a wave.
keep slightly to the back. I mean, it's probably viable that at this point the people are going in like very seemingly to their abilities, so we can probably guess our place at the horde charging the.
I mean, the Carthaginians can spend so much, celerity, potence, fireball, and stuff like that. Let's make sure there is no more of it left for them to do when we reach to them.
Well, as you guys are quickly discussing this, the first wave hits, climbs the walls. The Romans swarm it like ants up the walls. They bring a portable battering ram in. They're trying to ram down the gate. people they're throwing stones, they're throwing hot oil, launching arrows. And meanwhile, Camillus hasn't moved. He still just radiates majesty, and not a single attack has targeted him. Just
Are we
watching
able
it.
to identify other people in the Russian crowd?
You recognize several of them. Democritus, which I know you've been looking out for him. Phaleronius. Many of the neonates that you have come to know over the many years. And a lot of new faces.
Just to try to keep close to the wave of Democritus, it might provide us with a opportunity.
Makes sense. Just make sure he isn't really at the front wave, because you might, suicide.
He has gone in on the second wave. And you notice the fighting isn't slowing down. It is still brutally intense. As the people in the first wave begin to trickle out, second wave is hitting, finally taking the wall. Shouts, screams, people are getting picked up and bodily thrown off of the top. The gate crashes in finally, bursts open, and the people behind the gate immediately try to shut it again. They're literally getting run over by the battering ram. Democritus, they put a couple of siege ladders next to each other, and they form a Tetsuo on top of Democritus, and they run up the ladders with their shields in the turtle formation. And as a group, him and his followers take the wall. And then more people begin charging up those siege ladders after him.
So, what do we want to do?
I
Do we
say
want to
Come
take a
in
bite?
coming at as the third or fourth wave or something.
Yeah, it seems like a good idea to do. Like, battering ram opens the door, then a wave enters inside the walls, and then we come behind those waves. Something
it's-
like that.
It's pretty obvious that with this assembly at this final push to Carthage is like people will see you, so best not show the cowardice too much.
Okay, so should we enter it with the third wave then?
I think what you said is cool. Is okay. Wait till boil up to to do something. Once the gate is open, just trickle in as the further forward way.
Yeah.
That should be good enough.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's a fine balance.
Oh, that's what we're gonna do.
Right, you wait, trying to keep an eye on him and his group as they begin to battle down the wall, trying to get to the steps on the inside. They begin to disappear. You lose sight of them, and you hear the horns calling for the third wave to begin its rush. Third wave comes crashing through the gate, up the siege ladders. Are you with them? Okay.
Sure.
You charge up the ladder, get up top, to be met with a smashing wall of danger.
Can I say I have a shield? Is that okay?
There's plenty laying
didn't
around
s-
you could have picked up.
Okay, I would like to do that.
Add 1 dice to your soak.
Okay. Because I think it is not smart to use fire-imbued battle axe with so many vampires around me, so it's better to go for shield gladius.
All right. Soak 10 lethal.
Okay.
Jesus, what a start.
All of us?
Yep, everybody. We're back into long turn group actions.
Gotcha.
So different bonus dice for Mercutio and everything, or
Yep, Fortitude is automatic. Just as we've been doing.
My roll is lagging.
Or
Oh shit.
That was me.
Agatha,
I soak
you have
only three.
3 Fortitude, correct?
Oh, I forgot to roll for the shield. Just
You don't
one
roll
or
it, it's
one.
automatic.
Okay.
You take
Oh crap.
7 lethal.
First
You
hit,
are knocked into incapacitated.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Can I heal?
You are out of this long-term combat.
Okay.
All right, you are
Okay.
down. You are hurt bad. Okay, so
Well,
10 minus, and you guys do the math on your health levels. Begin your counterattack.
that was 10 damage.
10 minus your... You have plus
So,
3 fortitude, which is automatic. So you take 7.
Plus 1 from shield.
No, that is 1 extra dice.
Okay. But I forgot to roll
roll.
the shield.
So roll 1 dice.
Okay.
All right, I see Nicodemus got 1 success on his counterattack.
In lieu of counterattacking, I would like to drag Agatha out of harm's way.
That is a great idea.
Yeah.
You can't learn from pain when you're dead. So, you know. Well, I mean, okay, technically you can because we are already dead, but you know what I meant.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, can I attack now?
Yeah, you can attack now. Laviana.
Oh no, so I was just still working out my... so I took 3, I'm guessing. Can we spend blood straight away to heal that?
Yes.
Yeah, right. So how can I do that? Alright, counterattack. It's coming. Looks like mine's lagging as well. There we go.
All right, I see 8, 14, 15. You take out quite a few of them, but not enough. A few of them survive. Soak 3 lethal. Everybody except for Hatshepsut and Agatha, because Hatshepsut was rescuing Agatha. So,
Okay.
the other 3. Nicodemus, is your wound penalty taking off of your soak roll? Because it shouldn't.
Yeah, it shouldn't. What a stupid thing. Yeah,
That's okay. It
oh, there it is. Okay,
Yeah.
there's a switch. Yeah, fix that. Anyway, I soak all of it.
Alright, I'm not going to make you do your attack roll because you're going to definitely finish killing these guys. You 30 minutes into the fight, you finally reach a clearing on the inside where you can take a quick breather. Everybody is healed up from their lethal damage. However, you might be feeling the effects of such a rapid healing in terms of blood loss. So make sure you're tracking that. And then
Indeed.
inside of the sector, you now realize you have about 3 long turns left. You have about 12 actions total left.
Can I join?
Can we rouse Agatha?
Done. That's done.
I would like to join the group if possible.
Yes, that's done.
Yeah. We're just deciding what to do next. We're on the third wave.
You got quiet again.
Yeah.
We're on the third wave, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think. Oh, sorry. Go on.
I can't hear a word you're saying.
Oh no, I was just thinking. I forgot my fault. Ignore me.
Uh,
You do that
How
in character.
thick is-
I forgot what I was
how-
going to say.
how thick is the?
Oh, sorry. I was just saying. To be fair, that is one of the little things of life that media and games just tend to skip over. The wait a minute, what was I saying?
Yeah. Go ahead, Nicodemus. You were going to ask a question.
How dense is the fighting? Are people actually looting stuff, or is
Not at the moment.
too densely?
Yeah, a little
it's
bit too
probably
dense.
unwise to. Okay.
Do I see-
Is it possible to somehow circle around the main line and do some flanking to push the defenders, or do we need to just
That would move you up.
shove them?
That would move you up into the second wave.
Yeah, that's too hardcore.
Mm.
Okay, guess we're left with the fourth wave pushing us from the back. We're just pretty much probably left to just continue on fighting.
Do we spot Democritus from opposition?
Gonna roll perception plus legerdemain. You're gonna navigate your way to him.
So do we want to stab him in the battle?
Do we?
Well, you're not gonna get.
don't know.
Let me put it this way: you'll get close enough to make an action if you want to. All right, that's enough. You spend a long-term action. What you are doing is you're hugging the walls, trying to weave through the fighting. I'm gonna roll some random here. They need through 2 successes to see you, unless you're trying to be stealthy.
Yes, I am trying to be stealthy.
Okay. Make a Dex plus stealth roll. And
So like
I'm
everyone,
letting you do
or-
this because you have obtenebration. I'm assuming you're using it to help cover the group.
Yes, as much as possible.
So, Dex stealth. All right. With your obtenebration, you thicken the shadows, cast distracting illusions, draw the pursuers away, watchers, and you manage to avoid any more fighting. You round a corner and across a plaza, you see Democritus's men fighting, and Democritus appears to be using Dominate and Presence to force people to drop their weapons in order to be slaughtered.
Can I try to, in a crucial moment, try to sabotage him?
Yes, yes, you can.
Subtly or non-subtly?
Sub.
Explain to me. So what you see is his men have taken a pretty decent spot. There are Romans in the building behind him, making sure nobody can come at him from the top. He has taken a spot at an entrance to a narrow street, and they are stopping anybody who's getting driven to them. So, as other waves are driving men away and they're running into him, and he's using his dominate and presence to make people stop what they're doing so that they can be more easily be killed.
What kind of
What
item
I'm-
does he have? Sorry.
Albana, what you were going to say
So
something?
what?
No, and you were going to say something, Vorpal.
I wanted to ask what kind of men does he have with them? Does
He
he have
has
his child?
Legionnaire foot soldiers with him. There are
So
8.
just mortals.
Yep, mortals or ghouls. You have Orisight?
Mm-hmm.
Use it.
If we're sneaking, then probably why not? Shit, I forgot to roll it as usual.
Perception, empathy, diff 8.
That's it.
Perception, empathy.
Yep, that's book difficulty.
A whole 1 success.
So you stare really hard at them, and that's enough to see pale windings across their otherwise bright auras.
Cool. How many of them?
8.
8. Okay. Hmm. Does it seem like there are other groups of K-Knights around, or is he like more
If you
singled out?
just dedicate time to watching, you are sure to see them. And in that case,
be real tough.
as you guys are watching this for 15 minutes of just watching what's happening, more and more people are showing up to this area. They're gonna might possibly come across you guys and fight. Wow.
I like.
Well, what
See
was that?
yeah, go ahead and see if you can hide them. It's gonna be tough, but you might make it. You did make it.
Wow.
Good job.
I like.
Did not be. Yeah, go ahead.
I like to try to use my create my illusions to try to turn away his soldiers. Try to open. Try to divert his attention from the actual.
Okay. That's going to be contested, so you're going to make the illusory roll, which I'm going to look that up as we're talking. Obtenebration. I need to get some of those
The
sticky
level
notes where I can label this
I
up.
believe it's wits plus something else.
Wits plus occult difficulty
Bonus.
7.
Yes.
For each success, you may create one image the size of a human or smaller. So make that roll first. Alright, so you create one illusion. What are you going to have that illusion do? It's going to run across and try to distract the men?
The illusion of a high value target. Some high value Carthaginian target that we know that is within the.
Okay. It's tough to make one super specific like that. I'm going to give. Normally they get a chance to see through it at diff 9. I'm going to make it diff 7 because you want to make it incredibly specific. High value target, face, everything. All right. You hear two of them shout out, "Hey, hey! I know that one. I saw that face. Go get him. We need to get him." And two of them peel off, and the two in the front peel off, and two more have to come up to the side. So he's down to 6, and they chase the shadow around the corner. And you can visibly see the frustration. You can't hear him, but you can see from his face that Democritus is shouting something, probably something like, "Come back, you fools! Get back here!" But to no avail as they chase this thing off. You have cut his forces by 25%.
Nice.
How far does the rest of them stray away from the? From
They
him?
don't. The two that pulled off, you lose sight of them almost immediately. The rest of them adjust their formation, put their shields in front, and return to guarding him and taking out people as they approach the shield wall.
Can I more illusions?
Go ahead. I'm going to roll to see if those two guys
Become
actually make it
suspicious.
back.
Oh.
All right. You summon two more. What are you going to have them do?
Going to try to create the image of Carthaginian soldiers flanking them, trying to disrupt their formation.
Okay.
If at any point of this, Nicodemus's plan is to try to instill some discord with Pariah's Keres onto one of the legionnaires, but there's a problem with approaching. So he tried to see if any of them come back, and if possible to reach them away from the main group, he would try to touch one of them.
Okay. So what you see over the course of the next 15, 20 minutes is two more shadowy illusions spring up, flow across the ground, climb the outside walls, and you see the men go above, above, and the shields begin to, and then you see, no, that's nothing, and then the shields, everyone drives back. The other Romans have them. They either saw through the illusions or they figured somebody else picked them up. About that time, the other two guys come back, fighting furiously, back to back, shields. Gladius is whirling, struggling to get back to the group.
Is it possible to somehow squeeze
Albina,
in someplace and?
Oh, I'm sorry. Alvin, I need a manipulation plus stealth roll from you. Once again, you have succeeded. The group still remains hidden.
I think we shouldn't push our luck.
All right.
I think we should focus. At
Nicodemus
something
was asking a question. I apologize for interrupting him.
Manipulation and the group stealth. Is it possible for him to get someplace on the path where the legionnaires are crossing, going back, and try to sabotage one with Pariah's Keres?
Not with Albina. Your own obfuscate's going to have to do that. I will need a dexterity plus stealth roll from you. And it's
Okay.
difficulty 6, but you need 3 successes, at least 3.
Let's try that. We're going to
You are
spend
good at-
willpower.
You are good at that dice roll.
And the 30 self difficulty 7, you said?
6.
No, 6.
Yep.
That's not too bad. Okay. We are fearing detection, so let's roll. Oh, that's a lot.
Outstanding.
It's-
That's 7.
You very stealthily sneak your way across the plaza, avoiding the random arrows that come flying through the air, ducking underneath wild blows, stepping carefully across the bodies and the puddles. And you make your way up to the 2 soldiers who are almost back to the group. They're almost within formation.
Okay, gonna spread down the approach. Smear the blood on them.
Okay? That is going to require a...
Manipulation plus empathy.
Well,
Won't
not just that,
penalties
but
affect that?
to get the blood on them without breaking obfuscate.
Obfuscate. Right.
All right. Is going to require another dexterity plus stealth roll.
Is this still free difficulty?
Yeah,
Free
it's
successes
diff 6.
required?
Still difficulty 6.
Still 3 successes required?
Yes.
Jesus. Don't want this burning, but... screw that. Let's see how much screw that we'll get.
Hey,
Okay.
you did well.
We're good.
You smear the blood on them. You're confident, because they didn't immediately turn to you and begin bashing away, that you are undetected.
Mhm.
You can back away and make your manipulation empathy roll.
Does wound penalties affect that?
Yes.
6 dice, need 1 success versus difficulty. Just spend willpower on this. Actually, if this is going... Okay, let's spend. Oh well. Empathy plus. Three
Okay.
successes.
Yep. They make it back to the lines.
he
But you
keeps
can
his
hear
go-
them being screamed at. You fucking idiots! You dirty whores! Your mothers were whores, and you're worse than your freaking mothers. I can't believe your dad would have been better served to come in her ass than come in her pussy. You fucking idiots! Just getting screamed at, yelled at, and we get out of this mess. We get out of this mess. They're so incoherent. They're just fucking yelling, screaming at him. Those 2 guys might actually have to make a courage roll.
Uh-oh.
They're survived enough not to run away, but they take up their place at the back of the line, a little bit more frightened than they were, and probably a little bit less effective.
Now that they're aggravated, perhaps they will respond a bit better to some more intimidation.
They continue to rotate men to the front. So about another half an hour or so till those men are take their place. Albina, manipulation stealth, please. Yep, you still remain hidden.
I try to manipulate shadows in a way that would blind them, blind the soul.
Yeah, that is going to be level 1. That's only level 1 obtenebration.
Yeah, shadow play.
Yep, shadow play. Uh, you don't actually. That's actually going to make their rolls a +1 difficulty as they are partially blinded. And now he suspects something's up.
Uh-oh.
All right. Make a manipulation occult roll, please. As he begins looking around, looking for somebody who's fucking with him.
That's the way to put it.
What's that?
That's one way to put it.
Well, he only got 1 success. You got 3. So he is not penetrating your stealthy concealment at the moment. He actually takes a place up on the front lines and takes the shield and begins attacking. And he moves his men. They begin to fall back into one of the buildings. They are retreating.
So he's taking the front.
Yep, and the men are retreating, and he is retreating with them.
Oh.
He is, from what you guys can see, he's actually pretty decent at fighting. Pretty decent. People are run up at him, and he's just throwing that whack, shield bash, thrust in, thrust underneath, thrust over the top. He locks up with his shield partner when needed. He's pretty well versed in teamwork here. He's doing pretty well. He fits right in. You have driven him off. They are retreating. They begin to file into the building behind them, which is already controlled by other Roman forces.
What is he treating? Would I be able to try to summon a tentacle around his feet so that he trips?
Yeah, yes you can. First make your summoning roll, and then it's going to make a brawl attack.
Oh, fuck yeah!
Alright, have it make a brawl attack, and he's going to roll his dex and
Only good roll on
athletics.
tentacles.
I'm going to buff my tentacles by buff the dexterity by 6.
Okay, awesome. Alright, you need to achieve 6 successes on its brawl attack. Oh, super close. He feels something coil around his feet and his ankles, and you see him do a little dance, little hop skip, and he just gets over the top of the tentacle. And pulls back inside. And as he does, he casts one last glance up. What the? And now he knows, what the fuck, where is this coming from? Where the hell is it coming from? Make one more manipulation stealth roll. He only need 1 success.
Watch if it's a botch.
Willpower.
No need. No need. Obtenebration for the win. They all pass right over you, and he gets back in the door, and they slam the door shut. You force him to retreat.
Crash the building down upon them.
Tempting. But the building seems... Sorry, go
I
ahead.
think combined.
I did not understood what you said.
We have the strength combined potence too. I think we can destroy the building if needed.
Bar the
If you-
entrance and
Set it on fire.
The building is inside Roman lines, right? If doing this, that would attract attention from other Romans.
It's kind of on the front. It's between the first and second.
Such open act would lure too much attention, and we could no longer stake pretense.
Would obfuscate also obfuscate a torch if Nicodemus carried it?
Not really. But I will say, you guys have spent so long screwing with him that you
Yeah,
realize
too
that
much.
you've only got about 2 more hours before you have to retreat.
What do you all want to do?
Go back into fighting and see if we can get some looting, because I don't really think we can maintain low profile while doing something
Yeah.
nasty to him.
I think that we did our shaming the Ventru. I
We've
think
messed
that's
with him
fair
long.
for the moment.
Labiana considered
Rouse him.
casting intimations of mortality on him, and then he goes, nah,
Oh,
he's been through enough already.
That would be so awesome. So let's stealth out of there and find some fighting,
Okay?
and the night on the high note.
Yeah.
All right.
By the way, there are kindreds in Sector 2, right? Or rather, there is a kindred in Sector 2, which
No.
I will check right now.
Um,
The Bruja.
No.
no.
Or a
Sector
Bruja.
1. There is a Malkavian in Sector 1.
That's done. That's all done.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Everyone's dead.
Are you guys wanting to stay in 3, or are you gonna... You're kind of right there at the edge of this between second and first waves. So what are you going to stay where you're at?
I prefer we stay back with the third wave.
Up to you. Uncle, whatever way you guys want to do.
I mean, would we take the risk of moving up to the second wave at this point? I mean, I'm happy to stay in the third, but I won't object if anyone wanted to move up to second wave.
I really
Okay, you
don't
guys'
want to
luck
go
has
to the-
run out. As you are debating what to do, the remnant of another fighting force stumbles across you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to soak. You said you were between the first and second waves. Soak 11 lethal damage.
Okay. Please, please, please.
Okay. 6 lethal. I'm probably dropping unconscious. See that?
You said 11, right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
5, that's 6. Yeah.
So, Labiana and Albina, are you adding your 4 for your vampire retainers?
Yes.
1.
Oh, yeah, I didn't roll those. So.
Also, Labiana, you have fortitude, right?
Yeah, so that's an extra 2. So that's 4 successes so far.
All right. So, has anybody dropped to incapacitated because of that? I think Nicodemus
I did.
did.
7.
I
I mean, I still got to roll for,
yeah,
Tyrannus.
Yep. Still roll
Just fair.
4, Labiana.
Yeah, I'm doing that now.
All right, so a couple of you got. Well, at least Nicodemus is hurt bad. Labienna's hurt bad.
Yeah.
Actually, not so much Labienna, but Tyrannus is actually hurt bad because he had a much worse than you did. He is incapacitated. Labienna, you've got 2 damage. He's incapacitated. Agatha, you're good. Hatshepsut, you're hurt, but you're okay. Nicodemus, you're incapacitated. Albina took 5. So you are hurt badly, but you are okay.
-3 from the fortitude.
Oh, that's correct. So you didn't take too much at all. All right.
So Labiena will
I think-
instinctively pick up Tyrannus.
I think I should pick up Nicodemus and we should go to somewhere safe.
Yeah, I think that's the fates telling us to fall
Retreat
back.
for the night? Yeah.
Yeah.
Agatha will quickly grab Nicodemus and then we go retreat.
I'm going to heal up and provide cover for everyone else that is
Okay.
running out.
Labienna and Hatshepsut make a Labienna and Agatha make a dexterity plus athletics roll. Remember,
Should I roll
celerity is
for that?
auto successes. Albina,
And
manipulation plus
my
occult
assistant,
at diff 6, and Hatshepsut, if you're retreating, dex athletics.
Okay, I would like to spend a willpower on this one.
Okay, go for it.
Me too. I have 1
Actually,
willpower
yeah.
to spend. I will spend it.
I will too.
Because I don't want to die. So this is going to be...
Glad I did too.
I see enough successes. You guys retreat from battle, leaving the battle line behind. You retreat to camp, where people heal all their lethal damage. Discuss the outcome of what happened tonight. Sleep, regain a willpower point, wake up. It is the 7th
Like
night.
automaton. Wake up, fight, bleed.
About 45 minutes after you wake up, you feel the supernatural pull of a summon from presence. Very powerful.
Interesting.
Can we assume it's Camillus?
You can assume whatever you want,
Probably.
but it's a good bet.
Yeah. We won't move
I'll
until
follow
we get
it.
there. Yeah.
I will follow it too.
Yeah.
Obviously, Labiena makes
Yeah.
sure Tyrannus is alright before she leaves.
You follow it to the opening at Sector 3.
Uh-oh.
Princeps Camillus is once again outside on his litter. There is a huge gathering. Facing him on the wall are the forms of Moloch and Troil.
Oh boy.
Oh shit.
like they forms as in
They're
crucified
actual
or something
physical.
like that.
Nope, they're actual physical bodies.
So actually standing there.
Yes.
Okay.
Shit.
They seem to be sending messengers back and forth. Camilla speaks up loud enough so that you guys can hear him. Says, once again, I offer mercy to you and to your city. Come out from the walls, prostrate yourself before me, and accept swift execution. There shall be no diabolizing, no drawing out of your death. And in return, what remains of your city shall be spared. Your dream may one day rise again. Judging from their body language, which is all you can see from here, they don't really react. They take it very impassively. Rather than using a messenger, they speak, but somehow, even from across all the distance, you can hear them clearly, as if they're right next to you. Their words seem reasonable, passionate, noble, even. The voice is pleasant, nice to listen to. My children, all the children of Cain gathered here in front of us, and all the children of all men and women who represent your ancestors. The gods smile at you tonight. Gaze at what you have done. The numbers of deaths, they are beyond what was lost over 20 years of fighting. They are uncountable, as many as the grains of dust or the cobbles in the streets of Rome. All of them slaughtered at your hands. Men and women, nursing babes, grandmothers and grandfathers, all dead. Our temples are looted. Look around you, breathe it in. Is it not glorious? Do you feel shame or guilt? I say to you, no! Do not feel shame, for this was your purpose. You are now strong enough to tear down those real tyrants, the kings that would rule you from the shadows. There! And she points at Camillus. Look at him, your king in the shadows. See his strings. Cut them. Rule as you were meant to do. Remember, these words seem reasonable. Like, hey, we should give this a chance. And there's a pause. Everybody turns to look at Camillus. And the silence stretches out. Now, what do you guys do?
Well, there's the rage over Carthage and the Bruja welling up within her, fighting this. Sobna is momentarily a bit torn, her face between gazing at Camillus and frowning with rage at Moloch and Bruja.
Yeah, Albina and Nicodemus and Agatha, you feel a little, you hear just a little tiny voice in your head. Do not listen. The words are poison. Destroy them. Break them. Kill them. Poison. But it's so easy to listen to the honeyed words coming from the pair on the wall. So, what is the rest of your reactions?
That's a good question. Obviously, depending on how strong the pull of their words are, Labiana would be feeling a little conflicted right about now. She'd probably be looking back and forth from Camillus to Moloch and Troil and back again, going, what do I do? What do I do?
Hurt is on some level pulled in various directions by various words being said back and forth, but ultimately she reminds himself that, among other things, Camillus, whatever problems might be attributable to him, he is but one part of a greater issue, and the issue of the rules of Carthage, at least, are perhaps greater in scope.
Nicodemus seems conflicted at the initial call of the honeyed words, because they do seem very reasonable to him. How the vampiric society works, he understands full well. He's being used to some greater or lesser extent with practically every action the elderly have to offer. And It is perhaps the conditioning of perished Artemis that is still resounding in his blood that gives him strength to resist these words eventually, as well as cold realization that currently it's on the brink of ending this fatal war, and challenging Camillus now would bring in yet another war, and that would probably be yet another stretch too far. So he stands frozen and doesn't act.
Would I be able to spend a willpower point to stab out my ears?
To what?
Spend a willpower point to stab out my ears to not listen to the.
Yes, you can. You just spend the point. I won't make you roll anything. You spend a willpower point. Pair of knives. Whack. Not me. The rest of you guys, you see, with words alone, the Carthaginians seem to be turning the tide. The remaining crowd seems to be listening. They begin to mutter. They're gathering angry around him. They start shouting. They're talking a little bit louder and a little bit louder, egging each other on. You can see Camillus beginning to think. But you have an opportunity to act before he does.
Question then. In our close proximity, like the kindreds right next to us, are they also turning into, turning into betrayal? Or...
Yes, they seem. Almost everyone seems to be, especially the young ones, seems to be listening.
I have some politics, Chris. Can I consider in my mind quickly if it will be a stupid thing to try to help Camillus at this moment, like trying to persuade others to reason or something?
Make a wits plus politics roll.
Okay.
So, just as a reminder, what was the general gist of the speech they gave?
You did a damn good thing here, and oh, by the way, that one over there wants to be your king, which is repugnant to Romans. And he manipulated into all this. You killed more people than everyone in the entire war, uncounted number. Hey, maybe you should take it out on that guy, not us. And it seems to be working. Yay, presence 9. And 10, but really 9.
So I got one success.
Agatha, you could show immediate trust by interposing yourself between the crowd and Camillus.
Okay, I will risk being destroyed by the crowd. But I would like to try that. I would like to intervene between the crowd, try to scream reason into their mouth.
You shove your way through the crowd, get in front of his chair, push people away, start screaming at them to come to their senses. The crowd's about to get mean. Anybody else want to do anything before Camillus acts?
Yes, I like to step up beside Camilla, pulling down my stole and pulling back my hair to show my bleeding ears, and turn to the crowd to try to talk them.
Nicodemus is going to join in. He's going to approach a bit different angle and just blatantly say, do not listen to these corruptive words. Remember of the Tophets and remember of the corruption of the Balai.
Yeah, Hat will just, like, with a sort of cold, I'm probably going to need to spend a willpower to attempt this, but, with a cold, sort of dispassion in her voice, she's just going to, if not actually look directly at them, do get as close as she can to get as close as she can to looking directly at the pair who've been trying to bring this down at the last minute, and just say quite simply, loudly, but dispassionately, I would be more inclined to trust your arguments of morality had you not betrayed your own dream.
Your words seem to be affecting some of the people right next to you. They get confused looks on their faces. What the? And they turn around, but they start getting caught in the crowd behind them that cannot hear you. And it's getting mob-like, getting violent. People are getting shoved against, and they're pushing the people whose words you reached. They're pushing them into you. And they're like compacting around Camillus' chair, and he stands up, getting ready to do something, but you never figure out what. You can see the tyrant of Syracuse, Alcius, stand up directly beside Princeps Camillus. He looks out over the crowd, and he looks up at Troil and Moloch, and he unleashes Lunatic Eruption.
Oh boy.
That is Dementation level 9.
What does it do?
This fearsome ability is only known to blah 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 blah. All right. It is effectively a psychic nuclear bomb used to incite every intelligent being within several miles into an orgy of bloodlust and rage.
Oh. Everyone?
Everyone. The player spends 4 willpower points and makes a roll. The radius of effect is determined by the number of successes. Within this area, all sentient creatures fall prey to their baser instincts. Mortals spontaneously riot, loot, and burn between bouts of mass violence. Kindred enter hunger-induced frenzies, draining dry as many vessels as they can sink their fangs into. Other supernatural beings run amok according to their base natures. An entire city can quite literally be driven temporarily insane by this power. Victims of Lunatic's eruption may resist with a self-control / instinct roll, difficulty of Alcius' willpower. Each success provides 1 hour of lucidity. If you wish to resist this, you may roll self-control or instinct at difficulty 10.
Okay, so 12 for me.
Possibility of willpower or no?
Yes.
I'm going to use a willpower on this.
I believe that is a very wise decision.
I think I will too.
Wait, if you resist willpower, what happens?
If your
you spend
willpower goes down
what
to
happens?
0, you can do nothing except take preservation actions.
Will that be good in this case?
I would think so.
Can I try to deplete myself from willpower?
Yeah, you can spend your last willpower, and you become... Basically, all you will do is take actions to preserve yourself.
Cool. I have 2 willpower, but I'm sure I can get rid of both of them, so I will do that. I'm just going to deplete myself from willpower and...
Now, you all
On the
know he did
battlefield.
this. This is not subtle. You can see the psychic waves, like, feel it, as this power explodes out of him, washes over the city.
One success.
Many of the Canaanites around you immediately turn and rush the walls, going for the mortals. You can hear inside the walls people begin to scream and shout. The mortals and the vampires just hand over hand begin to climb the walls. Those of you who remained lucid, you see Camillus also remained lucid, and several of the elders begin to work getting out of there, dodging the fangs and claws of lesser Canaanites, as do you. you see you begin running up the hill and you stop at a high point and you turn to look back. And you see Troil and Moloch getting overrun by these frenzied Canaanites. Even their seemingly godlike powers are rendered impotent by the Malkavians' supreme mastery of emotions and the mind. They're getting bitten, stabbed, pulled, punched, kicked. No matter the potence, no matter the fortitude, nothing can prepare them for the endless waves of creatures biting and trying to drain their blood. You see the two of them hug each other and fall off the wall arm in arm. They hit the ground and they sink into it very deeply, entwined together. That's when you realize that the sounds of worse violence are getting closer and it's time to get the hell out of there.
Good plan.
Yep.
Gonna probably, if this
To get the hell out
possible,
of Dodge.
it's probably wise to join up with the others unless they're immediately treating us like hostile.
No, that's
Like,
very
you know,
wise.
move-
They immediately make their way out of the effect range.
Yeah, let's join them up and
Yep. And they
Can I
what?
can I do the same?
Yes, I assume all of you do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because honestly, that's the exact safest course of action. Get the fuck out of there, stick next to the elders. Especially the ones who just saw you risking life and limb to protect them.
Yeah.
Literally risking life and limb to protect them.
That's a good thing.
You all, as you make your way to the tents and the outskirts, you actually see the waves of violence have reached out even here, have beat you out here. The people in the camps are inside the slave pens, ripping people apart, ripping the prisoners apart, limb from limb. Then they turn to fighting each other. As you continue to dodge all the violence and the mess. You reach a spot where you can take shelter, and as you sit and watch the last moments of night turning to dawn, you see a sight which you have no words to describe. From the east and west ends of the city, twin black clouds begin to rise from the ground to meet the dawn light. And it spreads over the city like a shroud. So dark and so vast that underneath the shroud it completely blots out the sun. And you see that the Canaanites coming to their senses begin to struggle out of the city to find shelter. That's level 9 Obtenebration Chernobog.
Wow.
Literally blotting out the sun.
It's the first stars of the daylight.
You
I
all
believe.
fall asleep, safe with the other elders. You wake up on the 8th night of the combat. Camillus
so
nods at all of you in recognition of your efforts and promises he'll remember it. For the first time, you get a chance to see what his routine is as soon as he wakes up. And why it takes 30 to 45 minutes to get any word from anybody.
So what's his routine then?
A runner from the army comes to talk to him and brings a thick sheaf of paper with him. And he quickly reads through it. It's a disposition of the army, a description of what happened, what the upcoming tactics are, and he begins to issue quick orders to the runners that have gathered where he's at. And it takes him approximately 20 to 25 minutes to process this, and they all take off running to get to you guys, to get to the other tents.
Oh, okay. So, sorry. Are we with the prince right at the moment? Right
Yes.
At this moment?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Did I get 1 willpower point
Yes.
after sleeping? Okay. Agatha would like to. Does Prince dismiss us immediately?
He ignores you. After he acknowledges you and says, and he promises that he will remember what you did, he basically turns all his attention to his next task at hand.
Okay. Okay. Well, I will have to wait for my gift then.
Afterwards, he looks at all of you and he says, "Would you like to join me for the final surrender?"
Agatha will look genuinely, yeah, I think that's the word, genuinely happy with that offer. Yeah, she will look surprised for a moment, literally. Her face will show that emotion, and then she will say, I would humbly accept that invitation, the Prince Camillus.
Yeah.
Thank you
Labiana,
for giving me the honor.
yeah, Labiana looks at Camilla, kind of bows her head slightly and says, I would be honoured.
Messed up generally because there's been so much questionable things happening. The tyrant is probably altering about his little prank, which contribute to the insane body count and liters of blood spilled, and he does his best to conceal, remain composed. He just nods with a respectful bow and yes.
Let's be off then. He climbs into the litter, and they begin to walk him into the city to District 4.
I assume that we are, of course, not in the litter, but are we really close to it?
Yes, you're walking beside it.
Oh, nice, cool. Does Kindred see it?
Yes,
Other Kindreds?
people in Kindred see it. When you reach the gate, they set it down. He prepares himself, and it takes another 20 or 30 minutes for a lot of other Kindred to arrive because he's been summoning people the whole time. Camillus is there, and Scipio Amalius is there.
Cool.
And Camillus makes a gesture to you guys to just be quiet and watch.
Sure.
The gate opens, and there is a woman with a baby and some children standing on top of the wall over the gate. And the gate opens, and a man walks out. The man is Hamilcar, the general who's been running the defense of the city. And he's just a man. And his wife stands over him. And he calls out to her husband loud enough that everyone can hear it. "You coward! You fool! You have no honor! Your children cannot live with your shame! Carthage now dies because of you. Dies in shame and fear and bondage." And she takes out a knife, and she slits her kids' throats, takes her child, bashes his head on the wall, climbs to a pile of wood and lights it on fire and burns herself alive.
Wow.
Meanwhile, Hamilcar looks shaken. He's beaten in every way a man can be beaten. He orders the last gates thrown open, and the Romans march in, and they round up the remaining 55,000 survivors for slavery. All that's left to
What
do
do they
is
would-
finish tearing the city down and salt the earth and begin the ritual. Carthage is destroyed. Whew. All right, that's it.
The war is over.
Anticlimactic, I understand. That's the only way it could end.
Honestly, in a way that fits.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah, it
you
does.
you can't really climatic because.
Also-
But are we going to fight Moloch? Are we going to fight Troil? Yeah.
Also,
That's not
I
going to
just
happen.
remembered I need to make that roll. Diff 6, is it?
All right. So a little bit of cleanup here. 3 experience points for everybody.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
After the salting. Oh, yeah.
Hold on. I'm going to close the video out now. We'll have a little conversation amongst the players. For anybody listening, thanks for listening, and we will see you next time. There you have it, guys. Carthage is done. Where do we go from here? What's going to happen to our coterie, to Rome? Well, that all remains to be seen. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you join us next time. And until that time, thank you and have a great evening.